Welcome on back to episode 82 of the top 5 PvP battles. If you guys want to send in your own clips, you can send them to KristoferESO at hotmail.com. Starting off today, we have got Sekaar, and he is bringing us an insane fight with the hammer as he goes around the corner. The blue Zerg just chases him, and he goes into the ultimate, just sucking all the players into it, and he kills almost the entire Zerg right off the bat, building more than enough ultimate to go right back into the hammer again. And he just spins on the next bit of the group here that kind of backed away, and the blue players frantically trying to pick up their players. Sekaar easily able to build the ultimate for the third hammer spin. Wow. Just like that, he wiped the entire group. The fourth spin for the last two, a 141k tick. I have never seen that before. Now, moving on to our next fight, we have got Solatus bringing us some Stamina Templar goodness. As he's outside a resource here, a bunch of blue players come charging in, and Solatus just quickly runs into the tower and see who's going to follow him. One blue player comes around the corner, right away stunning Solatus. Solatus responding with the Purge, removing the snare as well as the dots, and then going into his Dizzy, into the Dawnbreaker, and an Executioner, putting big damage into that guy to finish him. And right away jumping on top of the next one. This guy's trying to work the guard. Solatus just goes for the combo from behind, hits him with the jabs to finish him right on top of the next player with the jabs as well to poke him down too. And now Solatus is going to start working his way down as the blue players start to trickle into the tower. And he's just throwing the pottle down there. A big Dawnbreaker into the jabs. This guy's taking a lot of pressure. He goes down as well. And Solatus just quickly resetting the buffs and setting the combo on the next player. The poison injection into the pottle. There's the stun right into the jabs, keeping the pressure on top of the first player here. And Solatus putting good damage into him, but he starts healing it away, holding block. The friendly players also throwing heals down on that blue. And Solatus knows he's not going to hold this doorway here once the blues start to charge in. So he just starts backing up, managing to pull a player up to the top here again, the same Dragon Knight, and just sets the dots down, catches him with a nasty Dawnbreaker there, and the Dragon Knight was caught on his 2H bar, so he didn't have his strong block ready. And Solatus taking advantage of that moment, putting huge damage into this Nightblade as well, almost bringing him down, but getting hit by that counter stun. And more players come up the side of the tower, and Solatus just continues to move here. And Solatus goes for the combo on this Nightblade, putting huge pressure in as well. And the enemy Nightblade just surviving the end of the pottle there, managing to get the heals in time and shading to safety. He's going to jump off the side of the tower. He's had enough of this fight. Solatus is just going to reset the buffs here. Pretty low on stamina. So just moving around, wanting to get a favorable engagement with the group. They've kind of stacked in one spot, so Solatus knows he's going to have to just pick the fight here. And the Warden here caught by himself. Solatus just quickly throwing the poison injection down. A lot of garbage up top there. There's the negate bubble. I think Solatus is just a little cautious, not wanting to stand in that, but just catching the Warden with a nasty stun right away, just finishing him off with the combo. This guy here caught not paying attention after that incoming stun. Solatus quickly capitalizing with the jabs there, and then right away moving on to the next target here. Big pressure on this guy. He just survives the pottle, and Solatus just soaking up the Valken Scoria there, making sure to keep the heals down. And finishing that guy with the jabs, finally taking a lot of pressure from the blue as they swarm him at the bottom here. Solatus responding really well with the ultimate, and there's still a lot of blue in this tower. And it looks like there's also a red Dragon Knight hanging around in the back too. And Solatus manages again to find a single player, just being very cautious with the positioning here. That's exactly what he needs to do, because he doesn't want to get swarmed too hard by the blues. Now two players on top of him here at the top. One of the players just jumped off the edge, so Solatus just quickly hitting the stun into the jabs. That guy could not deal with that damage at all. And Solatus just waits at the top. The Werewolf looking like he wanted to go for that res there, but right away going for pressure on Solatus. There's the Dawnbreaker, the jabs, the end of the pottle. Beautiful combo to bring the Wolf down. And he decides not to stick around up there. I think that's a good call. The blue group, again, just charging in as a unit. Here comes the single player, just overextending again. Solatus trying to go for a bit of damage. The Nightblade coming from behind, so it's a bit of an ambush. Solatus right away going up to the top here through the group, forcing the turnaround as they tried to charge on his position there. And there's the Werewolf jumping on top. He just right away goes for the direction change again. Up the staircase, lots of great kite maneuver, just keeping these guys at bay so he does not get piled on by them. And this guy goes right off the edge. Solatus is just going to set down the dots here. Got a good opportunity. Huge Dawnbreaker into the jabs, and the Wolf goes down. And Solatus has got a body here to defend. And I think this is in a good position. Can definitely do some work here. Just starts dotting up the Dragon Knight. Big damage with the jabs there. The Dragon Knight not expecting that amount of damage. Almost getting caught by the Pottle, but managing to make it into the block and heals there. And Salatis is just going to kite around the top here. There were only 2 players on the body there, so hopefully nobody picks it up. Salatis able to get a great overextend from this guy there, hitting him with the Javelin into the jabs to bring him down too. He's just going to check the back of the tower again. Unfortunately, this guy did manage to get rezzed, and look at that. Goes out the end of the tower. Salatis hits him with the Dawnbreaker, and that is that. Now, for our next fight, we have got Santana bringing us some Stamina Nightblade gameplay. He's by himself at this keep, and he's got the Emperor on top of him. The Dragon Knight chasing around here, Corrosive, is the Emperor, and Santana taking a lot of pressure from this group, managing to get a kill as that player takes a lot of fall damage off the end. Fantastic shade up to the top. Huge combo on that guy there, just canceling with the roll as well. I don't think he managed to get the kill. I didn't see the AP tick come down, but that was very close. And a massive gank on this guy. Big connection with the ultimate. This next player taking a lot of damage too. He just kind of holds block and panics. And just a couple pokes, Santana finishes him off right away, going into stealth, moving on to the next target. And this guy is kiting around. He knows that Santana's on top of him. Doing a good job just trying to defend against the incoming attacks. Santana's keeping up the pressure here. Now a lot more yellow players jumping on top here. Santana back into stealth. Seeing these guys attempt the res. A great stun there with the ultimate too. And Santana decides not to stick the combo out right away, just shading to safety. Setting down a new shade. He's going to come back up around the corner. A lot of yellow players converged on that location. And right away finishing off the player that just got rezzed there. When you get rezzed, you have very low resources. So Santana taking advantage of that to catch that guy in a bad position. But look, the entire yellow group's up there. That guy's just going to get rezzed again. Santana knows. Just playing it safe down here. Actually putting a little bit of damage into the guard. I like that. The negates the guard can throw out can definitely be annoying if you're by yourself out here. Santana goes for a open on the Emperor there with the surprise attack, not putting a lot of damage into that guy, unfortunately. And just a lot more kiting here, just trying to find an open player. But as soon as Santana pops out of stealth, just look at how much pressure these guys are throwing down. Just be very, very careful with positioning. And Santana decides to jump off the edge. We've got the shade at the top. Let's see what yellow decides to do here. Kind of a little bit of an awkward maneuver. Santana just shades right back up, gets behind this guy. A huge stun there into the Spectral Arrow. Massive damage and bringing that guy down. Huge combo on this next player there. Beautiful Executioner, and he finishes him off as well. And another beautiful combo on that player. The surprise attack into the bash, following it with the Executioner, stunning him, of course, while he's attempting to go for that res. And now it's just the Emperor, and he tries to res these guys. Oh no, it's the Emperor and one other player. Santana putting huge damage into the Emp there, but unfortunately that was probably the best chance he might have right now to bring the Emp down, and Santana desperately trying to prevent the reses from happening here. The Emp is just committed to it, slowly picking them up one at a time. And he did send me this clip with a little bit of a fast forward here, but that's okay because this is mostly just Santana desperately trying to prevent these guys from getting the reses. Now seeing that all the bodies have been rezzed, Santana decides to go for that shade again down to the bottom, splitting the group in half. Now he's back up top here again. Big combo on this Sork here. He actually connected really hard with the initial combo, getting counter stunned by the frags there, but right away following it up with more pressure. The enemy Sork just couldn't deal with the damage. Santana jumping on top of these guys on the resource. I do not think that they were expecting him to attack from his location here. And he catches the Emp there with a nice amount of damage again. Yeah, if he catches this guy with a good combo, I think Santana could possibly win this, but he's going to continue to play against these two here on the resource as well. Fantastic kite job from Santana to just survive that. It's absolutely crazy. Beautiful connection on that player there, catching him with his stamina down. I believe he was just overextending his resources too far there. And now Santana again goes back to fencing with the Emp in the field, backing away from the resource fully here as we've got more enemy Nightblades coming in to snipe as well. And a little bit of a fast forward again. And, the Nightblade's just jumping all over him. Santana having to kite around the Emperor too. I think the big saving grace here is Santana's doing a fantastic job using the mix of stealth and shade. And this Emp does not have a gap closer, and that is perfect. So Santana can keep him at bay, even though he's got a very, very powerful combat capabilities on that build. Santana getting a great kite on the group here, and just highlighting that movement, getting back into the keep. A great juke. The big thing here is that he split the group up just so much. There are so many players that were way over on the other side of the tower here. It's going to take them a while to get there. Santana unable to finish off that player there, and now they have made it back here, charging in with the Destro ult and everything. Oh my gosh, Santana right away just sets the shade down, knows exactly what he wants to do. But one player jumps down this time. Santana just quickly picking up the Executioner. Another player jumps down. There's the stun, going for the Executioner as well. This guy's throwing the rolls down, trying to survive desperately here. The Nightblade out of stealth. Santana not panicking, just going for the counter poke right away, and taking big damage from what looks like a third Nightblade, I believe at the top. I didn't see where it came from. Santana with a great shade there. Look at how he baited this Nightblade out. That player's looking for him with the stealth detect. Santana managed to get the gank on him, and then a great stun on this enemy Templar. Huge damage with that Executioner. It's a great cancel. I like he holds the heavy, reading the dodge roll from the Templar. Fantastic play, and look at the directional movement as the next player jumps on top. Santana just constantly changing directions. He would have sidestepped that Dawnbreaker as well. Just yellow players going down left and right here. Beautiful stuff. So much aggression from Santana, taking advantage of the momentum here. The Amp has finally left as well, it looks like, and now he's just got the last player left to kill here. What a fight. Now, for our next fight, we have got animation canceling, bringing us some Stamina Dragon Knight, a favorite in the top 5, and he's been in so many episodes. And today, he's going to show us how old school DK looks. This is absolutely fantastic. He throws the shield ult and just keeps the pressure on top of these guys out in the open, taking a nasty counter stun from a Nightblade gank, it looks like there. And Annie's just going to go for safety into the tower. He's got his wings up, deflecting huge amounts of range damage. He's just going to throw down the Vigor and right away back to the aggression. The leap right on top of the group, catching this guy very low hit points, finishing one player off there as well with his leap, and another finish on another red player. And Annie just putting so much pressure on these guys on the resource. He's able to just sit out here by himself. Look how much ultimate he's generating too from getting so many kills here. And just keeps dotting these guys up and keeping the pressure on. A lot of enemy players coming out of stealth here too. Annie's just keeping those wings up, going to deflect so much arrow damage. And he catches the Nightblade right away with the Sword and Board stun, trying to keep the pressure on top of him here. But the rest of the red players throwing heals down, also keeping pressure on Annie. And Annie forced to do a lot of defensive rotations here. And you see he's doing a lot of blocking, a lot of roll dodging, because he knows that incoming gank there. And unfortunately taking a lot of damage there. He goes into his shield ult though, and we know Annie loves to play aggressive in his shield ult right away, going for the dot up on top of the enemy Nightblade. And the enemy Dragon Knight leaping on top of Annie right at the end of the shield ult there. And Annie gets another kill as he goes inside the keep here just to reset his buffs. He didn't even really need to take the pressure off himself, and just quickly bashing these guys, preventing the res. And just rolling around, keeping his block up right into the shield ultimate again. And he wants to stay in this fight. He does not want to back into the tower, but I think that he is going to be forced in there. There's a lot of red players, and he cannot hold in the open forever. Just keeping the pressure on, slowly backing up the staircase, dotting these guys up. He wants to coax them inside, and then coming right back out again. Let's see what the red players decide to do. There we see they charge all at the same time. Exactly I think what Annie wanted. Look at great counter leap right into the wings, giving him that snare immunity. He's going to go upstairs, and it looks like only 2 players have split from the group to follow him up the staircase here. And Annie goes for the dot up right away on the enemy Stamsork, hits him with that stun. And he sets the dots again, goes for that big heavy attack, returning a little bit of stam. He's found himself a little low on resource. And just channeling those dizzy swings from behind. This enemy Stamsork just trying to out-sprint the damage. He has to heal or something. And Annie right away just moving on actually to dot up the guard. Not really focusing on that Warden. Very, very tanky. and seeing another red player enter the fight, a Nightblade here, and he goes for the AoE to try to pull these guys out of stealth, and goes for that big stun. Unfortunately, the Nightblade did have CC immunity there, did get the stun on the Warden, but took a lot of damage from that Nightblade's incoming surprise attack, and he just right away turning on the Nightblade, and knowing this guy's coming out of stealth, he's just channeling the heavy attacks, trying to pull him out of stealth, just going for a lot of different AoEs here. But that Nightblade is giving him the kite business, and this Warden is too darn tanky, so Annie just focuses a little bit of damage into the guard there. Again, don't want to take those negates when you're out here by yourself. And another player comes to enter the fight. Annie right away turns on top of this guy, leaping him off the edge of the tower, almost killing him with the fall damage there. This tanky Warden trying to pick up the other player. This guy needed to heal himself when he re-enters the fight there. Never enter a fight on 20% hit points. And Annie's just going to put the pressure into the Warden. It looks like that other Nightblade decided to take off. And this Warden is super tanky, but Annie didn't come this far to let one guy get away that easily. Finally hitting him with that stun. The Warden has no stamina left, it looks like, and the Executioner to finish him off. And for our final fight, we have got Akinos on his Magicka Necromancer. And he is playing a 2vx with, it looks like a Magicka Nightblade here. And there's a lot of yellow players coming on top of this resource. And Akinos and his friend, they just want to pull the yellow into a nice position. Just 2 players on top of him here. This guy has going for the pressure on Akinos, but the enemy player there has quite a bit of bulk. Akinos not going to really waste a lot of time on that yet. First of all, just getting into position in the tower here. And we see a few more yellow players pouring into the tower. They're just killing the NPCs off. But there's a lot of players. You can see he's got one tab targeted sitting on the resource there. And it looks like this Dragon Knight's being a little pesky. Akinos and his friend just putting a little bit of pressure into him here. The enemy Dragon Knight goes for his standard right away, and Akinos is just going to sit there, be patient, not throw his ultimate down. He's got a ton of ultimate, 500 ult. If he's got Balorgs on, that is going to be some pain. And now the yellow players start pouring up in the tower here. Akinos right away going into his Necro ultimate. He sets down his synergy. Then Magicka Nightblade goes for the bomb and activates the synergy as well. Massive AoE damage. Another explosion from the Nightblade. And Akinos is just throwing down those graveyards. The Nightblade doing so much damage to the entire group here. And Akinos easily tanking them and dealing a lot of damage with his ultimate as well. And look at that, so many yellow players down. It looks like just maybe 3 or 4 left. This last guy just getting pummeled as well. And Akinos and his friend have completely wiped this yellow group in a matter of seconds. Looks like just one last player here. They poke him down. 2 last players. And yeah, no survivors. You guys know the drill in Cyrodiil. That was a really awesome wipe. Excellent coordination between these two. And I think this yellow group had no idea that was about to happen to them. And finally, for our bonus clip, we have got Burke V with Dragon Sergeant, giving us another fantastic 2vx wipe, and this time in IC against a ton of yellows. And Burke and Dragon are just being careful with their positioning. They want to get the best smack possible on these guys. And Dragon going for the ultimate dump there. Burke following it up off the top with the Dawnbreaker. Quite a few yellow players going down to that initial smack. And Burke just going for the kite back up to the top, just taking a lot of damage from these yellow chasing. Burke manages to get a good interrupt on the resonating player as he kites out. And then right away going for the dizzy combos into the subterranean assault. His friendly player also trying to drop the combos here as well. And the yellow player's just very focused on the res. Burke is making sure to interrupt as many as he possibly can and just focusing targets down one at a time. Thank you guys so much for sending in your clips for the top 5. Be sure to check out everybody featured in today's episode down in the description below. We've got links to all of their channels. If you guys want to send in your own clips again, send them to KristoferESO@hotmail.com. Check out my website, KristoferESO.com, for written guides to all of my builds, and it's a hub for all of my ESO content. Give me a follow on Twitter if you guys want to keep up to date with me, and give me a follow on Twitch if you guys want to catch that live gameplay. We are sponsored by What the Fast. They're a VPN for gamers. They can give you better ping to your favorite games, and they're free to try for the first month via the link down in the description below. And then last but certainly not least, a massive thank you and a massive shout out to all of my patrons on Patreon. Without you guys, I couldn't do it, so thank you guys so much for supporting. Thank you everybody for tuning in and watching today, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great night, everyone.